Will you let me know if you see it, hon? Hello, hello, hello. SirRocksAlot. And today, yeah, we're going to do some of the stuff that we cut last week. So, hello to everybody. Glad you could make it in. And starting at the favorite time of the week, favorite time of the day. And we've got a few different things to do. So this is what we're going to be working off of. A little surprise in there to show you as well. But yeah, I got some really nice stuff. And we're going to try and cab it out. Hi there. Welcome in. Just going over a few things that we're going to do today. And we've got some nice blues, some greeny blues, and a little bit of green, and some Veriscite as well. So, yeah, this is what we're working off of today. So, hi everyone. This is what we're working off of today. Got some Mexican and American turquoise, some really nice blues to work with, and also got some really nice sort of green blues. Gonna put everybody in chat. There we go. So welcome in, and yeah, I'm just gonna get going. I think I'm gonna start. Well, we've got some Verisites to look over, which are fun. And then I've got some greeny blues, which is some really nice American. That's quite the chunk. And last week we cut off the end right there. And thank you for the hearts. And we've got a couple of really nice blues that we're going to work with today. And yeah, we're just going to get straight to the wheel. Get some of this done. A little bit of work to do. But should be some fun. Working on Diamond Pacific Genie. Hi everybody, welcome in. And yeah, it's gonna get noisy. Just got out of work. Got something to cool me down right here. And yeah, if you just joined in, go ahead, say hi in the chat. Tell me where you're from if you want to, or tell me where you're not from, that'd be fine too. I am SirRocksAlot. I work on turquoise, opal, slabs, all kinds of different minerals and rocks. So today we're going to cut through these, and I hope you enjoy the ride. Hopefully we got a couple of surprises. I got some surprises up there to look at, and you know what, why not, before we get going, I'll show it to you. So these are all Verisites. There's the other one, there we go. So these are all Verisites, and I'm gonna get these prepared. So you can see, got some beautiful florets in there. And then there's another piece. These both came out of the, I think it was the Lapidary Dave's collection. And what else have I got? This is some new stuff I just got. And I believe this was Nevada. I'm not sure if it's tree frog. But that also has some florets in it. So we're going to do that. Thank you for the thumbs up. If you're just coming in, any thumbs up I really appreciate. Here's another big chunk of that sort of Nevada Veriscite. We might get to these today. This one I actually want to try and cut through this one. This one, I'm gonna make that risk. I've got some Veriscite on this side going all the way across that way. But I've also got this piece over here, so might look at those. But the cool thing I found, and I don't think I'm going to be cutting this one, so I don't know if any of you can guess what this is, but it's a really neat specimen. A while ago somebody was selling a turquoise pseudomorph and I missed it by like one person, so obviously, you know, I let things go. So now I've been thinking about it for 2 or 3 years, and this popped up the other day, and this is really neat. So this is Candelaria, and it's Candelaria Variscite. Get a little bit of a, there we go. So it's Candelaria Veriscite, but it's actually a shell. I don't know if you can see both sides of it. It's like a clamshell. So that's the top of the bottom. That's the other top of the bottom. I might try and take some of this out. I'm not sure. Not going to do that today. But for right now, it's a beautiful specimen. And not something you get all the time in a pseudomorph of a clam out in Candelaria in Veriscite. Welcome everybody. Thanks for coming in today. Really appreciate you being here. I don't know if we'll get as many people as we did last week. I don't know whose good books I was in last week, and but we did pretty well, and I hope to do the same again today, or even you know what, I'd be doing this anyway, so I'm glad any of you can join in. So this is what I'm actually going to work on first, is some of this sort of greeny blue, and it's got some little spots of sort of rusty goodness. And this is one that we cut last week, if you joined in last week. So we cut the end off that one, and then I have a few others to work on today as well. I'm going to start off on these first 3 wheels. I'm going to get going because I've been chatting for a while, but I welcome you all in. Hit the thumbs up if you would, it really helps me. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. If I can get as many as I did last week, I'll hit that 400 mark and I'll be super happy. But either way, welcome in. Hope you've had a great day. And we're going to get straight to this. So here's a little bit of noise. Working on Diamond Pacific Genie. And who's that just said, no, not Jade. Turquoise Skooma. Welcome in. Thanks for the comment or the question. So it's actually turquoise. Much softer than jade. I love jade, but you put jade on your wheels and you'll have to change them fairly often. So I'm actually going to come from this side, bring it down, and see if I can shape something over the top. So go ahead, chat with each other, chat with me. That would be fantastic. Please keep it kind and polite, if you would. And we're going to get going. So here we go. I will check in every now and then. Let's get that under there before I cover the phone. But here you go. Now you can see some of the colors a little bit better. Oh, and I do have one thing to do. I need to turn my flash on, so I need to do that. And I just covered my... There we go. There you go. That's better. So... yeah, here we go. Welcome everybody. Gonna zoom in just a little bit. And I'm gonna trade over a little bit. There we go. Gonna start on that middle one anyway. So here we go. Don't know what shape it's going to come into. And I don't know if I'm coming from the right side on this one either. So, I'm going to do a girdle all the way around, and then I'll try and roll it over some. This is about 2.5, 3 inches by just over an inch. Hi Wendy, thanks for coming in. Hope you're having a good day, a good afternoon. We've had a really good week, cooled off a little bit, and then today popped back up again. Hi everybody, welcome. I go by SirRocksAlot, do turquoise opal, slabs and cabs and all that kind of good stuff. And One of the reasons I do it is it gets me out of my work mind, and it sort of, some of my mental health does me good. If you have any questions or you just want to say hi, go ahead, put that in the chat. That'd be great. That's a good one. It says it's turquoise. This one's actually treated. Doesn't mean it changed the color or anything. They just stabilized it a little bit. It is a phosphate. And this one happens to have some really nice colors to it. I'm trying to get high enough on the edge that I can get the same girdle height all the way around. I actually like those little spots. You might hear me talking to you. Yeah, you might hear me kind of talking to myself as well. That's okay. So I guess one of the next features we'll have on phones is going to be where you can smell what I'm smelling. So I can smell the stabilization. And each one's a little bit different. Which actually reminds me, I have to do something safety-wise. Gotta wear my mask. There are a few dangers to cutting stones. Silicosis being one of the big ones. And there's silicosis, but with this one, not only do you have the silicosis, but you have the epoxy glue that's in the stone. And if you breathe in that in, it'll stick to the edges of your lungs, I imagine. And even if it doesn't, I'm still being careful, so that's good. Alright, I think I'm almost ready to round that top off a little. And see if I chose to put as the top. Okay, so yeah. I have a little over, it's probably a little over 5 millimeters actually. Welcome everybody. And a little over 5 millimeters. Like to get minimum 3, and then get about 7 to 11 degrees on the girdle. And that way when they set it, or I set it, it gives that silver or copper or gold something to grab a hold of, and that way your stone doesn't drop out. Here we go. Let's take the top off here. If you want some channels to go check out, one of my favorites is the Opal Mills. He's out of Australia, has a small mine with his buddy and Andamuka. And he's the most straightforward teaching YouTuber I think for cabs and jewelry. He explains everything. It takes a little while sometimes, but he teaches you about the girdle, how to get your dome rounded well all the way. And he also does some jewelry that he sets and shows you how to go through the process and measure it and all that. Not that I've done all that yet, but it's in my mind somewhere. Happy Thursday, everybody. Hope you all had a good week. But yeah, so the Opal Mill is one of my favorites. And then he also takes you to the mine and shows you some of the wildlife and does some noodling at nighttime. And one of my favorites on YouTube. And then we got Lapidary Dave, who, well, he does sales and cabs and music and extremely talented. I'm going to be quiet. But yeah, I think he's fantastic. It's really somebody I learned a lot from cabbing, especially with turquoise and phosphate. And he has a great team behind him. And some of the sales are just absolutely fantastic. Alright, so we'll kind of get a look at this. So this is presently the back, which is gorgeous, and I'm hoping... Okay, so I think I chose right. Gonna be able to round that out, because otherwise I would have lost all of this on the top here. And I'm hoping I can round that out and get some of those features in there. Okay. Gonna go back a wheel to make it quicker. Okay, looking good. Who have we got in here? Free. Hi, Free. It's Wendy. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for commenting. Yeah, put your hands in it. You can get quite a work out of this too. Yeah, I still like watching. Like watching Robert over on Global Prospecting. He deals in opal. In fact, somewhere here. Where'd it go? This came in the mail today. Maybe we should open it. And we'll open it in a little bit. But that's a little freebie I won. So that's really nice. But he does a lot of Ethiopian opal. He imports some minerals from all the way around the world, fluorites, etc. And he mostly does his videos and lives at 9 o'clock on a Thursday, so that'll actually be tonight, I think. Sometimes he'll skip a week or two. Alright, I gotta decide what to do with the shape here. Getting a bit low down there. Okay, what do I want to do here? It's not terrible, it's just a little straight over here. Do a really long oval. Bring this in a little bit. Well, so it's not that pleasing, the shape right now. So see what I can do. Whatever it is, it's not going to be symmetrical. It could be symmetrical, but I'd end up losing. No, that's not terrible actually. Maybe that's what we do. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to lose a little bit over here, take a little bit down here, and how do I go that way? I've got this little crevice here that doesn't want to go. It may stay a little bit because it'll give us some character. So let's do this. Hi everybody. I don't know where you're all from. I'd love to know at least what country you're from. That would be great. Um, you don't have to tell me what local town you're from, but I'd love to know where some of you are from. And if you could hit that thumbs up for me, that would help. I don't know why, and I'm super happy you're all here. Last couple of weeks on my lives, I've had quite a few people come in, which is just absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, I try to put up a couple of shorts a week, a video. I'm doing a live a week, and I have more than enough material to go through. I'm going to bring that in just a little bit more. Get this sort of long oval. Bring that straight up. Hey Tomcat. I was at work and I saw a little post come out from you. I think it was on the Discord channel. I have not been able to watch it yet. I will later this evening. So I appreciate you coming in today. Hi Deborah. Thank you, appreciate that, Jeff. How's the cat doing? So, starting to get a little more symmetrical. I like freeforms a lot, but this one's actually turning out okay, so we're going to do sort of a long oval. And I'm just going to stop tonight, or this afternoon really, on the 280 grit. Alright, that's pretty good. And I think I made a good decision from coming from the top. We'll have a little tiny bug right here, but that might come out in the next 4 wheels. Now, what am I going to do? Let me go around. Make sure my girdle's the same all the way around. Get the right angle. And then I need to make sure my height is the same all the way around. Yeah, I think we're on, Josh, we're on, I think, opposite corners of the continent, of the North American continent, I should say. I do have family up that way. They're not in Oregon, they're up in Washington, and I do need to go visit. I've never been that way. I haven't been to Northern California, which I would absolutely love to. So, one of these days. Who knows, maybe if this takes off, that's what we'll do. So I'm sort of doing the wiggle waggle. This is about as wide of a stone that I like to do on these wheels. It's probably, it's over 2 inches. But, so these are 1.5 inches, the wheels, so maybe a 3-inch stone is about as big as I like to do on here. Just a wiggle waggle. I think we're pretty good on this one. That bug's almost out. So, yep, very happy with that. Gonna move on to a different one. This is ready to go to the next wheels. You can see my girdle. Boop, boop, boop. A little bit more. Right there. The girdle's pretty much the same all the way around. A little bit there. All the way around. Got a decent enough dome on it. And yeah, very happy with that. So this one, this material, came off of this chunker. We did all the stuff on the saw last week, and this one was the one that was too big to just slice across. I'd have to get onto my 7-inch saw for that. So rather than doing these gigantic well, it looks like North America actually, or maybe Africa. Took a slice off the top. This is that slice, and there you go. And that's how it turned out. So very, very happy with this material. Got all that to go through. Could even make a bigger cab there if I wanted to. Somewhere in there. Alright, well, that's great. I don't know, have you guys, this is not an endorsement. I can only show this. Have you tried this stuff? This is like candy crack. It's so sweet. I mean, it's not bad, but it's so sweet. But I just got to finish up the little 12-pack case that I have because I won't be probably buying anymore. But if you like sweet things, it's delicious. Alright, let's have a look. I think we're going to go this one. No, where is it? This one. So this one I previously backed, but we did put it on the saw last week just to take the little nugget off the top. Hopefully I can put that on a little dot stick and we'll get something out of that too. Really nice blues. And then this one, let's try and do something with it. I think it's going to be freeform, but look at the color on that. Look at that sludge on there too, isn't that great? So. Hi Wendy. Is that Melanie? Hi Melanie, how you doing? Melanie Faith, which is always a great. Hey Scott. Thank you all for being here. So, actually Wendy, well, I can't show you, I don't have it with me. But I've been tasked with taking a native watch cuff and getting a cab from it so that the jeweler can put a cab into it instead of putting the watch face. But he gave me this dinky little piece of tiger eye, what's the Pilbara tiger eye from Australia. So I think I might offer him something to just buy the cuff off of him and do it myself for myself. So we'll see. All right, let's get a little bit more focused, and we're going to go in and see what we can make out of this. So yeah, on the bottom I got some backing. Didn't really need it. But the reason I put it on there actually wasn't even to stabilize it when it was put into jewelry. I put it on there so that when I cut that little nodule off, so when I cut that little nodule off the top, that it wouldn't break the rest of the stone. Otherwise I probably would have just left it. I cannot read today. I'm from Austria. Well, welcome. I used to go to Austria as a kid. I think, where did we go? Kitzbühel. Is it Kitzbühel? Yeah, Kitzbühel. And I think the little town was Wessendorf. I was fortunate enough to have a friend over there, and his parents had this is years ago, mind you, had a little place, and rather than his parents having to take care of him, they brought me along for the ride. Little did they know what they were getting into. Not sure what that just said, but awesome. I think it just popped up something. I couldn't read it. I think it was about how many people have either come in or left or are staying. Any thumbs up would be appreciated. And if you're really new to the channel and you like to come just along and take a gander, go ahead, subscribe, and hit that notification, and then you'll be notified of the lives that I do. And I'm trying to do one a week. This is turning out pretty nice. Let's see if we can take some of this off of here. I'm hoping there's still some blue underneath there. Yeah. And there is. So it's starting to get nicer and nicer. I'm just going to go around, make sure my girdle's good, and then we're going to round off that top. I would put some music on, but I don't know. Everybody's got different tastes, and then the platform decide whether I can keep it or not keep it. I think I can bring this down some. I'm a little wary of this. I don't remember if it was like that because it was wonky. That's just slid up the side. If that's the case, then I have to sort of reorient it a little bit that way. So I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do the top as if there's a I'm gonna do the top as if there's a big hole in here, and then I can orient it afterwards. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. So I'm gonna have to do it at a bit of an angle like this, or more like this, and hopefully that's not too high that I end up losing it. Alright, let's do that. Going around, doing about a 45 all the way around. So yeah, last week, I don't know how many I got. I think like 23 or 24 subscribers. And if I get that today, which I'd appreciate if you would, then I will hit my 400 mark, and we'll keep on climbing. So now, gonna do it. Reorienting. A little scary doing this, because I don't know if I'm right. So you can actually see I've now taken that backing, gone through the backing, so that I can re-angle it. Need some water. Thank you, Wendy. I have a silly comment, but I'm going to keep it to myself. It is actually showing that it may have some different little florets going along here, which I was not expecting. And I like a lot. Okay, so got that reoriented. All the way around. Start pulling the dome up. If you can see what I'm doing there, sort of rolling it back and forth, and then I go all the way around and back the other way. And I could put this on a dop stick and turn it that way, which I will. I do with smaller stones. These slightly bigger stones, I like to do it by hand. Just my preference. Come on. Let's move it over. I'm going to go over to the 280. Welcome everybody. Hope you got the volume down at work. Yeah, I still got a little cutting saw groove there. I'm really starting to like this pattern over here. Get that groove out. There's not going to be too much of a dome to this one. Still there's a big groove going through here. I don't know if it's going to come out properly. Yeah. You see what happened here too? It's gone so high that right here, so I'm gonna have to take some of that out. That's not so good. Not so good. I mean, it's not me, it's not like I made a mistake or anything, just the way the stone is. All it does is change the pattern a little bit. Okay. That's alright, it changes the shape a little bit. So this won't take your skin off or anything. This one's even metal, diamond. Yeah, it won't mess with your fingers, but put your nails on there long enough, it will take the corners down. Okay. So even though I reoriented it, That backing was still showing. I have to bring it into some. And there you see how it starts to become less in that hole. So it must have been a big enough hole. I really had to fill it. And I forgot. Let's see. Okay, it's getting better, but the stone's getting smaller. I'm losing the part that I like. So I'm gonna leave it like that. Odd shape. Sorry. I thought it was going to be freeform. Definitely freeform. And it's even got a little bit of a dip over here. It's not faceted, but a little bit of a dip. Okay. Around the whole stone. I'll be done with that one. That'll be ready to go over to the other 3 wheels. Alright. That looks nice. Thanks for everybody still here. So yeah, this is actually, I believe, a Mexican turquoise. I cannot tell you exactly where. Let's do this. So Enrica, see? Sorry if I've missed anybody in the chat. Phyllis, hi. Enrica, hi. And yeah, that's looking pretty good. So that's 2. All completely different. From South Africa, welcome. My sister-in-law is from South Africa. She's not in South Africa, she's over in England. And let's see, what's next? Let's try this one. Let's try that one. Let's try that one. We're in South Africa. It is. It may be Campy dust. This came, Wendy, from, I believe it was from Sam, so from Specialty Cabs and Block over on Etsy. Also, go check out his store that he has. He has some amazing block material that he's been putting out for probably 2 or 3 years. Little different than your sort of run-in-the-mill turquoise stores, even different than Kingman. And so he, in making his own block, he has a lot of turquoise, and he has to pick the quality pieces out of it. And he can't always know necessarily which are the best pieces, or if he's missed any of it. So these are some of the pieces that I'm getting from him. And this time we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to leave this as through a... See, I like this one because it had that road going through it. I think it comes through here. So I'm going to take the edges off and see where we stand after that. But I'm just going to do the edges first. Let me have a quick peek here. Hi, Kirsten. Welcome in. We got the super expensive stuff today. If none of you know Kirsten and you're watching, there's what, 200 of you in here? Go over to Kirsten's channel and go over to Wolf Walker Collectibles. They both do amazing sales. Some of the jewelry they have, you won't come across yourself. and it gives you a chance to get something special, or even invest in something special that will only rise in price. I mean, silver's nuts right now, gold's even crazier. So buying top-end jewelry, this is probably the best time in your lifetime that you can get it, because I don't see it going down. I don't see it going down ever. So yeah. So go over to Kirsten's Red Resale and go over to Wendy Wolf Walker Collectibles. I think you can probably tag their channels and go ahead and subscribe. Hi Bagda. Yeah, between the two of you, I tell you, you've probably got some of the top 20% around. Pretty amazing stuff. Let's go to the quick wheel. Go to the quick wheel. I'm sure it's wet. It is a genie. You're a genie. So yes, it's a Diamond Pacific genie. It's sort of the middle size of Diamond Pacific. I think you have a Titan, the Genie, and then a Pixie. A Pixie is 4-inch, the Titan is 8-inch wheels. These are 6-inch wheels. This has lasted through, I don't know how long it was, maybe 20 years of a semi-full-time lapidarist out of Florida. And he mostly did opal, so it didn't wear and tear on it too bad. But I was fortunate enough to get it from him. I have had to change the pump a couple of times, but it's going on, well, it's over a quarter of a century, which is pretty amazing. So the quality of Diamond Pacific is pretty amazing. That's just an opinion, not an endorsement. Although if you're listening, Don, you're welcome. So the president of Diamond Pacific is Don Dupuy. His family been out in California for a long time. Man, I might have to cut this. I'm going to leave this. We might have to cut it. I can get it started, but I think I'm going to end up cutting this into 2 stones, here and here. This little divot here is just going in too far. I could do that, but I'd lose that. So let's take the top off just to see what's underneath there. So I want to see if this follows through the stone, but I have a feeling I'm going to lose it off to this side right here. So let's have a look. Who else do I watch? So I watch Mr. Thomas, of course. Justin over at Black Opal Direct. His experience and abilities speak for themselves, and the quality of his quality of opal that he's able to obtain goes far further than we'll probably ever see in our lives. He does come occasionally to the Tucson show. I don't know if he's going to do it as frequently, but I believe he just hit 300,000 subscribers this week. He has a great team, and they do their own jewelry, and they're able to charge, you know, what it's really worth. So when it comes to opal, let's get this top real quick. Not going to do too much because no, I can't even do a heart. But the color's great under there. The road's coming up this side. Wow. I might have to just... I can't. Yeah. Beautiful color under there, but I think I'm going to end up getting a cab here and a cab over here. I'm going to have to cut right through there. Which, I don't know if this will do it. That might. That's going to take too long. But yeah, so that's the third one. I'm going to stop on that one. We got 3 done. What else? Let's have a look at... we went here earlier. I did show this. This is really neat. This is something I just picked up this week. So this is a Veriscite. It is Candelaria, which I believe is Nevada. Some may argue that it's Utah. But you can see there, you got little dots coming up, which is Veriscite. And then the host rock here and here. If you turn it over, you can see the little greenies coming out there as well. And this is actually clamshell pseudomorph. So it's a shell, a clamshell, got buried millions and millions of years ago, so it's sort of like opal. And then it slowly got filled with minerals, which in this case would be phosphates. So Veriscite and turquoise are in the same family, they're both phosphates. The turquoise is blue. Turquoise is blue because it has copper in it. And that's really the most difference between the two, but really they're both phosphates. So yeah, Candelaria, Veriscite, pseudomorph clam. Really neat. Hi Ed, how you doing? Yeah, it's neat. Wendy, I missed a sale, I don't know, it's 2 or 3 years ago, and it was a turquoise one. Also, I think it was Nevada as well. And I missed it by like one person, and I've been thinking about that for that long, I guess 2 or 3 years, and this one popped up. I don't want to tell you the price, because, well, I'll tell you the price. You know, these 3... $35. What a bargain. In fact, we're going to pull this one. Let's try a Veriscite. So, we're going to take this down. I might end up backing it, because this is the bar that I want to get to. But, I'm going to lose it, so because it's so thin. So what we're going to do today, I'm just going to expose the top here, and then I'm probably going to back this side, let that dry overnight, and then come back in and get this tomorrow. Let's see what's underneath here. I'm interested. I'm kind of excited to see what's in there. I think so. This was Nevada as well. I think it may be tree frog, but I can't say that 100%. Hey Josh, welcome. Mike, welcome. Doing exactly what you're doing, Mike. Yeah, instead of watching the news, come watch some of these people on YouTube. Some that know a lot more about it than I do. And yeah, you can read and have it in the background and just watch it. You can watch television, you can just watch the YouTube channel. People in the community of the lapidary and rock community, and especially in the jewelry community, extremely generous and willing to share all the knowledge they have. And then go to Harbor Freight, buy a Dremel. It's only going to cost you 20 bucks. Get some bits and maybe a cheap grinder and just try it. And that's the best way to see without spending thousands of dollars. Okay, this is, how about that? Yeah, that's the cheap. That's how I started. In fact, I started with just sharpening blocks and some material like Veriscites and turquoise and opal. Opal's a lot more expensive, but they are pretty soft and easy to work with, but not too forgiving. So doing it by hand, you know, if you don't mind whittling or anything like that, you can actually do it by hand. All right, this is looking really nice. I'm going to see if I can get the rest of this little matrix out. To concentrate for a minute. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. And then, Mike, after that, start looking for, well, I would say start looking for used equipment, but I only say that because I got really lucky. But some of the equipment isn't crazy expensive. It's $1,000 plus to get a machine. This machine new now is, I think, $2,400, which is up like 600 bucks in the last year. But well worth it. And even though I haven't, because I haven't sold all my material and tabs yet, I will. You can easily make your money back in a very short period. Look at that. Hey, Duke. Yep, Bits and Nova. Hey, Don, and that opal guy, welcome. Thanks for popping in. So, Veriscite, Nevada. I'm going to end up back in this piece because it's so thin, and I don't have enough of this matrix holding onto this way, so I'm actually going to end up backing here, turning it over, and then cabbing it out that way. That'll come out really nice. So very happy with that. Let's do another piece of Veriscite. This one, super thin. Can't really tell what it is. But if you look to the side here, again, got those little florets in there. And this one, because it's already domed, I'm going to back this one too. I'm going to take a little bit of this off so the backing still has something to grip with. And then actually, this is almost the shape of my wheel. So you see that angle that's going there, it's almost the same as my wheel. So let's go to the wheel and do this. I don't know if you can see. Wow, okay. Get a little bit closer. I'm afraid to get closer. Alright, so I hope you can see that that is pretty much the same round as my wheel. So it's actually fitting there almost perfectly. I'm not going to take too much of it off, except to start getting an idea. So I'm going to go a little bit more. If you're new to the channel, welcome. SirRocksAlot, come on, I do a couple of videos, a couple of shorts, and hopefully a live once a week. Everything varying from turquoise to opal to slabs. And just started silversmithing myself. So I think I'm up to like 2 or 3 pieces, so, you know, please come along for the journey, because you get to watch me make my mistakes as I learn, and maybe that'll help you in the future too. Hi, Jess. Thank you, Mike. I really appreciate that. Yeah, and if you come to the lives, I usually talk, well, I talk about where I source the material, I talk about the machines and equipment that I use, and also some of the channels that I watch that teach me. So, if you go over to Wolf Walker Collectibles, she does an on the bench. If you're interested in silversmithing, she does a little on the bench series for silversmithing, which is really neat to watch, and she keeps it really simple. Simple enough for me. Okay, we're going to try and take some of this top off, just to see what's under there, and hopefully it doesn't break, because I don't have a backing on it yet. Gonna rock it. I can use this dome shape that it naturally has. And then usually after the live, like today, we're going to take it to like the 3rd wheel. Oh my goodness. This is really nice. Excuse my laugh. Okay. This is really good. So like this piece came from a lapidary Dave sale. I don't know if it was Don Dupuy or Sam. I think it may have been Tim. This is looking nice. Here you go. You ready? So this is the top, well, the start of the top. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Hi, Husky. How you doing? I missed what you said, Wendy. Yeah, it's really nice. So we're gonna fill in the bottom here just a little bit to flatten it out, maybe, and then we'll finish off this top. It's really nice. Very nice tone to it, and the spider webbing's great. Really nice. Thank you for all the hearts. How are you doing on time? Huh. Already been here an hour. Not bad. So, in the hour, I guess half the time I've been talking and half the time cutting. Right now we're up to 4. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we got another one somewhere. Where is it? Yeah, 5. So that's not bad. 2 different types of Verisites. This one I believe is Snowville. Like Wendy said, this is Mexican, so it could be Campidos. This one is backed, or partly backed. This one is also Mexican and probably Campidos. And this one is somewhere in Arizona, and I'm not sure where. That's 5. That's pretty good. What else we got? Let's do a semi-ugly one, because they got to get done too. So this is one of the cuts we did last week. Hey Steven, how you doing? I hope I'm not missing anybody. Is that Thelm? Hi Thelm. What else we got? Jean, hi Jean. Thanks for coming in. So yeah, this was one of the little nodules we cut last week. And now it's about 50-50. And we're going to shape it. So it does sort of change color as it goes from left to right there. Maybe right to left for you. And I might actually, man, I can't break. I want to break it. I'm going to cut this very quick. Got it. Okay. Alright, thank you. I broke it on purpose. I'm going to do 2 stones out of this one. And actually, I think it was a good choice. If you see that little white spot there? It's actually fairly soft. So, not a terrible idea. But because of the cavernous nature of the middle here, it was not going to be stable. So, yeah, they're doing really good. I enjoyed watching your resin the other day. You're starting to get some really nice patterns in there. Something I want to try actually, Steve. So I've been watching you because I have a huge bag of what somebody was going to use as triplet material. So black opal triplet material. So they've already backed it. So they put a resin on top, which I don't think they did a great job of. And I want to see if I can shape some of those and re-resin the top. Don't worry, it's not me they're coming for this time. Oh, see, they missed me. Okay. So yeah, I want to resin out some of those. And I've seen people use everything from, what did I have? Pulsite, and then jade, black jade. People use old records from like, what are they, 25s? 40, no, 25. So I have like a bag of it. So that's going to be a whole show on its own. I'll bring it out. Oh shoot, they're coming back. Yeah, it's I just happened to come across that material from an estate sale. It was actually Dr. Woodruff's estate sale 2-3 years ago. Yeah, it might be. And he was a professor, he was an entomologist, he mostly did entomology in the Dominican Republic. And being in the Dominican Republic, he, back in the late 60s and 70s, was there when they started really pulling the Larimar out of the mine. And not just the Larimar, but also, what's the other one? The blue amber. So, Dominican Republic have Larimar, and they also have a type of blue amber, which is pretty amazing. So he started working while he was being a professor with the miners over there and importing it into the United States. I was fortunate enough to, well, I got invited to the estate before they opened the estate. I spent so much money there that I couldn't I couldn't buy anymore, so they asked me if I wanted to work the estate. I ended up working 2 weekends at the estate and basically spending everything I earned on materials. And I'll bring some of the Larimar out. I think there's a box over there. Let me bring it out real quick. So it's just one of those 2 pieces. I don't know how I did that while I was talking to you, but I did. It's pretty nice. Nice little shape on it. So Larimar, I should go get it. We did the Veriscite without the copper. Now we're doing the phosphate with the copper, which is turquoise. And then I should probably show you the pectolite. Let's do it. Why not? Where's that other piece go? Oh, that's that other broken piece. Anyway. You can lose stones really quick. What happened to that one? That's that one. Oh, here we go. Let me go get, so that's one of those 2. Let me go get the Larimar real quick. Give me 1 second. It's really not that far. Bring it on next week. I've been packing everything up. That is not Larimar. But yeah, I have all the Larimar packed up right now. So we'll bring it in next week. Okay, let's see what happened to that other stone. Let's finish off that other half. So yeah, on the Larimar, when I worked this sale, I have to say there were 50, at least 50 5-gallon buckets of Larimar rough. And then I would say 5,000 cabochons. Thank you for reminding me. And we charged a fair price, and it all got sold. And we were charging, some pieces we were charging $20, $30 a carat. It was that high grade. We donated some to the local college museum, and that was for tax purposes. And I got some rough for working, but I learned a lot about it, and I know when I see the rough what to choose and what not to choose. So, but I'll explain that. I have some other videos up there if you want to go look at them on the Larimar. But maybe that's what I'll do next week. I'll bring the Larimar out, and we'll have a little discussion on that. So I see it slowly spreading over to the west coast. And they're charging some pretty high prices over there. Alright, we're almost getting to a round. Thank you all for sticking with me. Butte, hi Butte, welcome in. Appreciate you coming in. I've seen you a couple of times in the last couple of weeks. Alright, so got a decent girdle going. So I gotta take this off because that's actually where I did the saw cut. So I'm gonna turn this into an oval real quick. I wish we had smell-o-vision, but you can smell the epoxy in this one, the glue, or the stabilization that they did. Okay. Alright. Now I've got a good girdle. Let's do the bottom. Just call, actually, so if you call the Diamond Pacific number, when you call there, ask for the technician. Because I'm pretty sure you know who the technician is, you just didn't know that they transfer you over to him. But I think they transfer you over to Don. I forget the lady's name. I think it's Vicky or Victoria, one of the family members, and yeah, they'll take care of you. I think it's like 120 maybe was the one I bought. I tried doing everything and changing the leathers, and I changed everything in there except for the whole outer casing, and mine was just so old that the interior of the main casing had worn out. So even with the leathers, my air was getting pushed out the top of the pump and not enough through the geysers. But it's pretty easy to do. And I wish I'd done it right away. So I did. I changed the leathers like twice and changed all the only thing I didn't change were the geysers. And also I have been oiling it. Yeah, I don't know if you can see. Let's show you. Let's take this off. Let's see if I can do it without. There we go. So let's go over here. I'm only going to do this for you, Buick. So we're going to go over here a little bit. I'm going to squeak up. So you got your main motor, and then this is your air pump. And these tubes come out the back side over here, and all that's doing is going up and down with the wheels, and it's the wheels that drive that pump up and down, and they push air out of the little brass geyser, which makes it spit water up. There you go. And but inside here you have two leathers inside of this metal casing, and they go up and down. So you have to oil it, and there's two places to oil it. There's one here which goes to the bottom, and the little, I forget the name of the little rod that comes out, but it oils that, and then this one, second one up here, oils the leather in here. And I tried changing all of it, but I had the old one that was all black casing, and the inside of the black casing had worn away, that it was actually pushing air out here instead of pushing it through there. Now I gotta get this back on without making too much noise. You'll never do that. Sorry. Normally you'll end up running the plastic on the wheel. What else we got? We got that. Oh, gotta finish off the stone. I hope that helped. Almost to an oval. And I'm sorry if that nobody wanted to really watch that. But yeah, I think it's less than 200, I know that. And now I've been oiling it more often, and it's seems to be working well, and I haven't had any problems. Alright, we've almost got a good oval. Yeah, it's neat. Just the technology of it's so simple. Now, I mean, the only downfall of it is it spits stuff all over the place sometimes, which is why I have my little extra handy-made guard over here. But it stops me from dying. That's pretty cool. Or dying sooner, I should say. Yeah, that saves me from dying, and just doing this lapidary stuff helps my mental health. You can really wander off and then come out with something really spectacular and colorful and beautiful at the end of it. And then I really enjoy when the people around me go like, wow. Just going to put a bit of a dome. I'm just starting to get the dome going. Evening the dome. So in evening the dome, I am flattening it a little bit. Alright, I think we're going to do about, I don't know, 8 more minutes maybe. We're going to do about 8 more minutes. I could go longer. I also have a couple of new commissions from the jeweler. I don't know if I'm going to show them or not. The commissions I got are 2 little opal rings that need inlay put back into them. But I was given real opal to put in as inlay to replace synthetic opal. And the rest of the rings are still synthetic. But that's what the customer wanted. And that's what they're paying for. So that's what I will do. And he doesn't pay me too much, but I get the experience. And if I ever needed to use his equipment in the store, I can use that. So one of these days we're going to do a silver mill video. Maybe we'll do it live, I don't know. There we go. How's that? A little difference in the shading in there. I don't know where that's coming from. Let's get that out. If you're new to the channel, I do a live. I'm doing a live once a week, usually around 4 to 4:30 in the afternoon. So please come in, check in. I try to do it before the evening shows go on. And this is more educational. Yeah, it is, Steve. The only counterpoint I have to that is I'm now talking to myself. Not really, I'm talking to you guys, but talking to a phone. I'm talking to a phone and getting text back is what I'm doing. So. So I apologize if I missed anybody in the chat. It's not very easy to do with wet hands. I'm like looking at the camera and trying to shape a stone at the same time. I'll get it eventually. Maybe just pick up some microphones. So you wouldn't mind, so I had to take the dome down. But how's the sound on this? So how much does this machine, does it get too loud? I'd really like to know. So that one and that one came from that stone. There we go. And we'll shape that up. That's still off. Looks almost like a teardrop. I might leave it. Alright, so I think that's what we're going to leave it at. Get the mask off. Let's turn that off. Well, actually, let's do the test. So, is this too loud? Like, yeah, absolutely. So these are the two loudest wheels, and it also depends on the material. So the turquoise isn't too loud, but this is pretty hard right here. And that's about as loud as it gets on the diamond wheels. Is that too loud? Because I bought some microphones to clip onto my shirt. But me personally, I like the sound of the machine. But I've been doing it for a long time. Okay. See, Wendy, you like the sound too. I know you do. Ready? So that's actually what the Larimar sounds like. This is not Larimar. It's like a serpentine thing. That's the 240. And then you go to the Nova wheels. It's nice and soft. Well, I appreciate that. So let's show you what I did. Not bad. Well, we can actually zoom a little bit. So this was one of the Verisites. This is one of the turquoises. These all need to go through another 3 wheels. Not going to do that today. What I have been doing is over the weekend I'll get these finished off and then I'll post them in another video. This one we started, but I have to cut it. So could almost polish it and leave it nuggety. This piece of Veriscite, which is really nice. I have a lot of potential to that. The 2 we just did. Pretty nice. And then the first one we did, which I like a lot. I like it a lot. That piece could be nice. It's a bit big for a ring. Well, maybe not. Guess it depends on your taste. Hi, my captiva. Thanks for coming in. I don't know if you just got here. I was getting close to finishing up. If you'd like, I can do one more stone. Let's see. What do we got in the box? Okay. Another little piece that I backed, and I really don't know what's underneath it. So much for slowing down and stopping. We're going to do this one really quick, see what's underneath it. So, let me get the edges. Okay. Get the edge. This one's backed as well. so it may just fall to pieces. I don't always have to stop on the first stone. Alright. So, looking kind of green. Sort of. Yeah, go ahead. I don't know if you watched the one from last week. That one was kind of long. So the thing about posting lives, and I don't know if there's any people that post their lives, but if you start cutting your live, you can't keep your live chat. Or at least I have not figured out a way to keep your live chat. But if you don't do anything as far as cutting and trimming of the live, I can actually go ahead and post it with all the live chat going along in the same speed that it was originally, which now helps me because I get to see who participated and who commented, and I really appreciate you all. So, alright, let's see what's going to be under here. Let me know if you like this or you think it's like one for the garden. That didn't take long, did it? Little wiggle waggle. This helps dome it. Oh. Should have done all the other ones that quick. Alright, let me know what you think of the colors. Not bad. Ready? Anybody? Not really anything, is it? Got that little dot. So it's not, but that's a good way to put it. Oh well. Not the best. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else in there. Just that little spot. Someone may. My wife can give it to one of her kids at school. I think that's it. Let's leave it like that. Very happy. Here we go. We got something accomplished this afternoon. So, yeah, thank you all for coming in. Really, really appreciate you. Thanks for hanging in there. Thank you to everybody that thumbs up. If you would thumbs up on the way out, that would be fantastic. It just helps my channel. I am putting out a couple of shorts, a couple of videos each week, and hopefully a live once a week. And I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it anyway, and I'm pretty happy with the outcome there. So, thank you all. We'll see you on your channels. We'll see you next week. And in the meantime, take care of each other. Most of all, take care of yourselves. Cheers.